after the game, you were talking about maybe looking at some things, how you go about doing business with regard to the turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean? What are you reviewing? What changes for you if you're going to change that part of your game?
Yeah, I think first off you have to look at the coverages that you're facing, seeing the coverages, being able to recognize those things, and then kind of once you do that, you can slow things down. Then you're able to go out there and make the right decision and not take those chances, especially at certain points in the game. And so just doing that, and then going back to my reads and trying to be true to those and making sure my footwork's right in the pocket and I can just stay true to the reads.
Andy suggested the other day that maybe everybody on offense is sort of feeling pressure with what's going on in defense to maybe score every time you get the ball, which I know you always try to do, but there necessarily hasn't been that urgency before. Is there anything to that, do you feel? Do you feel like any more urgency than normal because of what's going on the defensive side of the ball?
Not at all. I mean, for us, like you said, I mean, we try to score every single time we touch the football. That's how it's been my entire career here. That's how it was. That was kind of the precedent that was set before I even started here. And that's kind of how I have my mindset going into every single game is that when we get an opportunity to go out there and have success and be successful, we have to capitalize that, and that has nothing to do with whatever is happening on the other side of the ball. It's just our job as an offense on this team.
Patrick, something else that you mentioned after the game was just the connection with receivers when maybe they have options after certain plays. Going back and watching the film these past few days, I mean, what's the process like to getting back on that same page on those plays?
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's just you watch with those guys, you kind of recognize the coverages with those guys, you get a feel for what they're thinking. I mean, not only was it times that they didn't do it, but there was times where I thought I was making the wrong read. And so and then me not throwing it in the right position, I mean, that kind of leads to bad things. And so that's just going to go back to us working at our fundamentals, especially me, kind of footwork in the pocket, staying true to my reads, kind of like I said earlier, and just being on the same page as those guys.
We know you like simple question, but is the biggest complication with that just making sure that you guys are reading the same defense? I mean, is that the most...
Yeah, in a sense. I mean, we face different coverages than pretty much a lot of teams in the NFL, so you just got to be able to recognize those when you see them. And we've been able to face it for a couple weeks now, where teams are kind of seeing what other teams are playing to us and doing some of the similar things. And so, at the end of the day, it's all about execution. It's all about us being on the same page. It's about me making the throw at the right time in the right spot. And so that's something I'll keep getting better and better at, and try to find ways to score more points.
Is it difficult at all to make sure that, like, Tyreek sees it's the same coverage that you see it is? Or?
Not necessarily. I mean, I think that's just relationships that we've built over time. I mean, I think that's what makes this offense go is that we know each other, we know what we're thinking, and we had one game really where we were a little off on that, and so that's something that we'll have to continue to get back on that same page and be who we are.
We know that you guys are very good at it. You like the big play. How much of a challenge has it become to try to play in that short to intermediate, maybe that 10 to 15 yard range?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that we worked on at the end of last year. You started seeing defenses kind of play over the top and letting us kind of have the short gains. So that's something that we've tried to get better and better at, and we've had good weeks this year at it, and then we've had weeks like this last week where we didn't do so well at it. So it's about execution. It's about taking what's there. It's about running the football. It's about throwing the short completions, and then once defenses have to come up because we're showing that we can do that, we'll still be able to connect on those long plays.
I know in the offseason you talked about being more accurate, and so with this offensive line, it seems as though you've gotten a little bit more time, and I know receivers haven't been able to get open. What challenges do you think going up against this front four, including Chase over in DC, is going to fare for you all this weekend?
Yeah, their offensive. Their defensive line is talented. We know that. I think everybody in this league knows that. I mean, they have great players all the way across that D line, and they have great players that come off the bench and play as well. And so it'll be a great challenge for our offensive line. Those guys have been playing well. They've been doing a great job, and so we'll do whatever we can to let me get the ball out of my hands fast, get it to some of the playmakers that I have around me, and let those guys make plays at the end of the day.
I know you really don't try to run the ball as much as you did. Of course, you led the team in rushing Sunday. Is that something that you just taking if the defense gives it to you, or?
Yeah, I mean it's kind of that. I mean the defenses are playing they're playing some man coverages on some third downs, especially this last week with high safeties over the top, so we couldn't throw to Tyreek and stuff like that. And so whenever they kind of opened up and I was able to run, I just went ahead and took it. It's something that I'm sure I'll have to do more this year as teams really concentrate on trying to stop our receivers and guys catching the ball. And so if I have to do that, I'll do it. And then if hopefully I'll have more time where I can just throw to some of those fast guys and let them run down the field.
We're about to chat with Daryl. Obviously, Clyde's on injured reserve. What tells you that Daryl and then Jarek are ready to handle these duties in the backfield?
I think it's just that they've done it before. I mean, you've seen these guys. Daryl, he stepped up in big spots his whole career here, filling in, running strong, running tough. And then if you watch Jarek McKinnon's career, I mean, he's been a guy that's made plays at a lot of different spots, and I've trusted he'll come in here and he'll make plays here as well.
Patrick, you got Josh out in the field for 9 plays, and I know Coach said that you hoped to maybe get more if we got into that hurry up. What did you kind of see from Josh and the one with catch that he had? What did you kind of see on that play and learn from that?
Yeah, I mean, it just shows that he can make plays happen. I mean, that was kind of a broken play where I was scrambling out to the right, and he's such a big target, I could still see him. So I put it up there, having trust in him, and he went up and made a play. And I thought he did a lot of good things. I mean, he came up the ball hard. He ran fast, did stuff. Didn't have any missed assignments or anything like that. So just to continue to incorporate him into this offense, I think it'll help everybody a ton.
Patrick, with that, what do you think can be next for Josh? And are there certain things that you want to get to this week that can build on what he can do in this offense?
Yeah, I think as he gets more accustomed to our offense and how we run it and how we do things, I think you'll see him get utilized more and more over time. I mean, his skill set is something that not a lot of people have in this world. I mean, to be that big, that fast, that strong. So I think as you get more comfortable, you see this with receivers all the time, and they start really trusting what they're doing is the right thing in that offense. You'll see him make more and more plays.
Patrick, to Adam's point earlier, when you look at reevaluating yourself, is there much that you really have to change? I mean, you've been successful thus far in your career. Is there a lot that you have to change, or is there just like one certain thing?
Yeah, I think you just tinker with things here and there. I mean, you don't want to lose yourself. You don't want to lose the things that you've done so well, so long. But at the same time, I got to make sure that I'm firm with my fundamentals. I make sure that I stay within the pocket. And it's the same thing every year when you kind of see me get a little off. You got to go back to the basics and make sure I perfect those things. And then I think everything else will kind of come along with it.
Patrick, I know that the turnovers are such a focus that this is probably difficult to do, but if you take that out of the equation, do you feel like you guys are performing pretty well as an offense?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we're moving the ball and moving the ball down the field at a high rate. I mean, we're doing stuff, we're executing, we're not having a lot of 3 and outs and stuff like that. So that's what you want to do as an offense. But I mean, once you make turnovers, once you have turnovers happen, it kind of ruins everything. It takes that great offense that we can be and just really just knocks it down to a very average one. And so if we can really cut out those turnovers over this season, and we kind of have to now, I think we could be a really, really good offense and a great one, hopefully.
You got 5 full games behind the new offensive line. How do you feel like that has all gelled together? How do you feel like the communication's going with the tackles and where you're at now as opposed to after week 1?
Yeah, I think they're doing a great job. I mean, I think they're really communicating well. They're doing a lot of great things. Obviously, this last game we kind of got out of running the ball as we kind of had a few turnovers here and there. So we got to keep incorporating that. I mean, they're so good at run blocking. They're so good at doing those things. I think if we do that with the guys that we have, it'll really even open up the pass game even more.